Ceito world. Everybody want to be spiritual till it's time to be spiritual, so let's get spiritual. You feel me? So today what we're going to talk about is why money needs you and you don't need it. Now when we get into my spiritual community or my spiritual soul group or my spiritual friends, and we get into what money is, it's a resource. Now, everything made in humanity is reflected off the original creation. And the original creation, if you get into Gnosticism or any form of story that pretty much tells you that we are in the matrix or we're in a copy of the world, this ain't the real world, you're going to start picking up and realizing, oh, this shit is just a reflection of some other shit. So when we get into what the real source is and what it's connected to, the source is your spirit. And when we get into what your spirit is just nothing. It's just nothing. It's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? And when you get into, it is the non-physical, it's not physical, but it is the seat of the emotions and the thoughts and feelings. So, that would make your body the resource of your spirit. Because when you go into your body, you start having feelings, you start having thoughts, you start having imaginations, you start having physical experience. So money is recreated to be a body or a resource. And when you look up what re means, re is the second diatonic note on the scale. So it's always second. So when you're dealing with two, you're not dealing with the source. You're dealing with a resource. You get what I'm saying? So when we get into the real aspect of what money is used for manifestation. Now, when we get into how something is truly manifested on earth, it all comes from the higher realms. It all comes from the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind creates the reality. We know that. So when we get into everybody can look at it like this. Now, the source is nothing but water. It's a higher form of water. It's not like the water y'all think I'm talking about, like that you drink, because we live in water. So, because oxygen is a form of fluid in water. So, when we think of water, we're talking about the primordial waters. So, when we're talking about the primordial waters, that's what source is. We all come from those primordial waters. We all come from life. That's why they say life derived from the water. You know what I'm saying? All forms of life derived from the water on earth. But that's true in the spiritual realm. So it's just playing out like this. So just think about how something manifests. Just think about how clouds become. So you got the sun, which is representative of your thought, your intellect, your ego, your solar plexus, which is the seat of the ego, and that's right under the heart chakra. The sun is light, so all that light is just shining and transforming shit. which is what I'm doing right now, because I'm shining my light on something that you understand, and I'm transforming it. So that's what the sun does. So it shines its light on plants, grass, water, and shit. And what that does, it evaporates the waters. And once it evaporates the water, that becomes cloud. And a cloud is none other than a thought, or it's just a light form of your body. It's like a spiritual body. Let's just say that we can compare it to a spiritual body. So once that cloud gets too much information, or that starts to build information, it starts to rain. And once it starts to rain, that then produces life. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So it makes sense. So it's like, that's the real aspect of manifestation. Now, if that's the real aspect of manifestation, because just think about it, you have a perspective. And once you have a perspective and you put that perspective, have a new perspective, and you put that perspective in a new way, or if you have an idea and you put that idea onto a new way, and you present it in a new way, and that way is so brilliant or so bright where it transforms a million people, or it could be presented to a certain people, then you become the source, and you transform that. I wouldn't say the source, but you become that light, and that light starts to transform information. You get a bunch of other people's thoughts, and that shit becomes a cloud, and then that shit rains, and now you got a whole fucking culture of shit. You get what I'm saying? So it get deep. You know what I'm saying? They get deep, and there's a lot of ways you can go with it. But this is why we deal with Ceito, because we're not attached to any of these ideas, but we can go into these ideas and let people understand or take from their own concepts, you know what I'm saying, and utilize them for their own world. Now, when we deal with money in another aspect, you deal with it as it is a current. It's a current. It's where you're at. It's where you're located. Your state of being. And if your state of being, you don't have no self-value and no self-worth on the realms and on 3D, how that's going to play out is when you look at your bank account, you going to be at zero. You're going to be low. Your money going to be low as hell. Or it's going to be in the negative. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to wake up and be like, fuck money. You know what I'm saying? You got to wake up like, fuck money. You know what I'm saying? Because money is an illusion. It's not even real. You know what I'm saying? I just told y'all how because it shouldn't even be in the equation of your reality. Now, I'm not saying that you don't utilize this thing or this concept on your day-to-day to pay your bills and, you know, and do the mundane shit that you need to do with it. I'm just presenting it to y'all in its true aspect and what it really represents in the concept, in the Ceito form. So, you know what I'm saying? So this shit ain't even real. Now, how I understand as a human in a spirit that's utilizing the human body, you have to have some type of self-worth and you have to have some type of self-value. Now, what you have been done, what has happened to you, is that you have been mind controlled to believe you have no self-worth and no self-value. That's because you've been separated from your spiritual nature so damn long. And when you separated from your spiritual natures, your ancestors can't fuck with you. So you have to get back to your spiritual nature so the ancestors can fuck with you. Because it's like it's like, okay, so put it like this. It's like the kid that rebel against the parents, right? I'm just breaking it down in a way that y'all can understand on the third dimension. So it's like a kid rebelling against his parents, and they start cutting off his chores. They start cutting off his his all the money they was giving him. They start cutting his ass off because he wasn't listening, because he wasn't in the current. He wasn't flowing with the family. You know what I'm saying? Now I talk about your 3D physical family. See, you got a spiritual family, you got a 3D family, and you got an earth family. But anyway, that's not this video. That's for another video. But your spiritual family can cut you the fuck off. Because your ass, maybe it's some karma, you know what I'm saying? But once you start doing that dharma, you know what I'm saying? Watch my video about R. Kelly. Once you start doing that dharma work, you'll start connecting back to your spiritual family. And that family is from the primordial war. So they come from the real source. So you won't need anything. You know what I'm saying? They're going to start, you know what I'm saying? They're going to put you in a state of being. And once you're in that state of being, money will start needing you. Now, if you're in a state of being on 3D where you need money, you probably still in your cycle of your regular family. But once you're in the state of being of your spiritual family, and you're playing in that cycle, and then you're in your own self-value. You're in your real self-value. You're in your real self-worth. Because nothing physical gave that to you. You pulled that from within. So you pulled that from your ancestors. And I don't even want y'all to get caught up in all the ancestors are past experiences. I wouldn't say, it's a lot of ways you can look at it. Let me just say that. But one way you can look at it is that they're older versions of you and everything that's connected to that. Because that's just what it is. So when you take those experiences and you develop them in this new way, like I'm doing right here, then you're pulling from the ancestors, because you're pulling from your ancient, from your past experience. You're pulling from your soul then. You're pulling from your past. You know what I'm saying? You're pulling from within. That's what the soul has to deal with. The soul is deep. That's that water. That's that inner feeling. You know what I'm saying? Peep. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to put y'all on game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have your own self-worth, your own value, and that then is gonna be reflected on earth as a current. And you gonna spin that by expressing. You're gonna invest into certain realities, like I'm investing in this camera and this part of my world. And once I invest in that, guess what? I spend my currency, and that creates a flow. And so I get that back. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, there's multiple ways you can look at it, baby. This Ceito world. We got plenty ways you can look at it. You know what I'm saying? But remember, it's all about self-worth and self-value. And you only can get that from within. You only can get that from your soul. And you can utilize your spirit to create those shapes and forms in the higher dimensions. And once you create that, you do a ritual down here, whatever that ritual is, and that shit's gonna reflect. Point blank, period. So you want to be like Tupac when it comes to money. You want to be like Buck Money. Nigga, fuck money. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I am the money, nigga. You know? They gotta come like that off jump. Off jump. I'm trying to put y'all on. So you just gotta get out that mind control, man. That mind control. Get a book called Mind Control 101. Get a book called Mind Control 101. That's a deep book. You know what I'm saying? And you know, because what it is that, all right, say like a person, a black person was born into bread or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta say a person was like, you know, less fortunate, you know, and he see them or whatever, just like anybody will see a rapper or anybody hear these rap lyrics or whatever, and they be like, damn, how did he get that? How did he get that self-value, self-worth? Oh, money. Then you gonna start chasing money, because then you're gonna be like, I need this money to have this self-value or self-worth. But I'm just telling you from the higher dimensions that it don't work like that. It work with having a self-worth first. Everybody that has a lot of money or whatever got some sense of self-worth and self-value and pride, whether they realize it or not. You know what I'm saying? Some sense of self-value, everybody that's straight for real. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just saying this because it's a lot of people that manipulate for money too. Now that's just a whole different subject. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the people that's really, you know, that's stars. You know what I'm saying? They got a strong current. You know what I'm saying? They got a strong current, whether they celebrate it or not. You know, they feel that they have something to offer. That's that self-value. They feel that they have something to say, and that's valuable. And they value themselves on the daily. You know what I'm saying? All on and off camera. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we talking about when we talking about that real prosperity and that real wealth and that real, you know, that real, just really tapping into the ancestors. They gonna give you it. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta walk it like you talk it. You feel me? Like you gotta build up your currency. You know, you gotta build up your current. You gotta build up your flow. And really you already have it. It's just you gotta allow yourself to get out the way. You gotta move your ego out the way of your self-value, because a lot of people ego be in the way and they be like, oh, I need to do this, or I need to show up at this place because if I'm not gonna be worthy. I'm not gonna gain. You go and gain your worth every day at work. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. You go and gain your worth out in the world by slaving, and you let somebody else tell you what you worth. You know, instead of knowing that and really tapping into that and letting it reflect. That's the laws of the universe, baby. It's gonna reflect. You know what I'm saying? So look, I just want I just want Ceito world to know, you know, because we all got real souls and we connect with each other on a soul level. That's why we watch these videos. That's why we connect. You know what I'm saying? That's why we use these concepts in the Ceito world to go out and utilize for whatever world you want to create. You know what I'm saying? If you part of Ceito world, then you part of the infinite. You know what I'm saying? You part of the infinite. Nigga, we come from the infinite waters. You know what I'm saying? So look, you know, I just wanted to shine my light so y'all can build on this. You know what I'm saying? Build on this idea. You know what I'm saying? Create y'all clouds. You know what I'm saying? Let this light soak up y'all emotions and y'all thoughts and y'all feelings or whatever, and y'all go manifest what you are from y'all inner waters. You know what I'm saying? This is real. This is real shit. Yeah, man. But this Ceito world, man. I love y'all. Peace. Like, subscribe, comment, or dislike, whatever you want to do. No matter. Peace.